Hey, what's up, everybody? TheIrreverentOnes here. Episode 2, Season 1. What's going on? Joining you here again, we got our first guest, but it's kind of like a sneak guest because he's part of the core group. But you guys, other than hearing his voice, haven't met him, so here he is, Adam.
Hey, what's going on, Adam?
Yeah, so Adam, thank you, for coming down all the way from Delaware just to be on our podcast.
I'm leaving right after this.
Just kidding. Actually down here for my son's birthday. Adam is actually Wyatt's godfather. I've known this dude for, about 14 years now, pretty much. Met him in the Marine Corps. We went to comm school together. But, without stealing any of his thunder, I'm going to let Adam introduce himself. That way you guys can get to know him. Again, you guys already heard his voice on the YouTube channel, the IrreverentOnes YouTube channel. He's always one of the 4 that are always playing Call of Duty or Rocket League. So without further ado, Adam.
And real quick before you start, the funny thing about Adam and me is I think we played video games for roughly 3 years together before we met face to face.
Yeah.
Right? And I felt like I know who he was, and then we walked into your promotion.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, this is Brenner. And I was like, oh shit, and I just hugged him like I don't even, just some strange man I've never even met. So yeah, I met him, but that's a funny story because he's known him all his life. I feel like I've known him for half as long, but it's not true. And then I've only seen him in person. This is the second time.
The funniest part about that is that's like how our relationship started.
It's exactly.
Without video.
That's what this all means.
And then you just have to meet Mike, which you're pretty sure you met him in passing maybe, but you haven't officially met him, so...
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's how this was created.
It's fun. Technology's an amazing thing.
It is, man. It is. We got to get all 4 of us on the podcast here.
Oh, definitely.
It'll happen.
Oh, no, we can.
And that's we're going to start, once we get everyone in and we get our schedules going, we're going to start virtually having them, even if they're not physically there.
Yeah.
But we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
All
right,
definitely.
Adam.
Without further ado.
Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
Well, I'm Adam. I'm from Delaware, which is a state up north.
Hey, so LLCs. Well,
a lot of LLCs get made there for a reaon. Met like I said in the Marine Corps and comm school. We were next door, like neighbors at the barracks, and we just hit it off from there. And pretty much now 14 years later, which is crazy.
Yeah, man.
Still
wild.
Yeah. Seeing your career taking off, I went a different path. I got out. Spent a little extra time. Almost did about 5 years, and then got out. And then what I did, I went to school, worked full-time, went to school full-time, busted my ass. I got into accounting, so now I'm a tax accountant. Life's pretty good. It's, the whole transition from military to civilian life is definitely a tough transition. You just got to take a step back and kind of just reevaluate yourself because, and this is probably a discussion we could talk about, but the big issue with a lot of vets out there, they don't know how to run their own life. They're used to being told, hey, here's a direction, go. Yeah. They're like, okay, what now?
Right.
So it took me a little bit. Luckily, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to school, get a job, and though that just kind of propelled me to where I'm at now. So,
family?
Yeah, family. Got a wife, got a beautiful little girl who's turning 4 in April. Crazy. But
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I haven't seen her in 2 years. Well, actually, take that back, a year. But the amount she has changed and how much she's matured. But with that said, both y'all got out. Both y'all did that transition, which is awesome because then I can rely on you guys. Hey, what do I need to do now? Because I'm going to be in the world of hurting. Just like the Marines before you, I'm sure you guys had people that you looked at to.
It doesn't matter if it's 4 years or 25 years, man. It's the same journey.
Same.
Yeah.
It's just, there are differences. Don't get me wrong. There's a big difference between retiring and getting out, but that transition, just as much problems as, say, someone who had 4 years getting out had, I have those same problems on top of 20 years of the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So you think about that, like, combining. That's rough, man.
So I actually got a funny story. So Adam's from Delaware, which you guys just found out. I went on recruiting duty back in 2014, right? I volunteered for recruiting duty. Went to school. It was like July 2014. And there's like a district assignment day, right, where you try to choose where you want to go, and you write all these different states, all these different recruiting stations down.
Every possibility.
Yep. And then about halfway through recruiting school, individuals come out, and then that's where you find out where you're going to be spending the next 3 years of your life, right? So I picked Florida because obviously you guys know I'm from Florida. I picked Texas as my second choice, and then I sent the list to my wife, and I was like, hey, I need you to pick a couple of spots of where you think you want to live the next 3 years. And she's like, Baltimore sounds cool. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Pick Baltimore. Not even thinking that I was going to get Baltimore.
Yeah.
So we did our whole 3-mile moto run on district assignment day, get in the classrooms, and as soon as they said Evans, 4th district, I already knew like my dreams were shot because I didn't get 6th district, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I go to the classroom that I'm assigned to go to in Sergeant Major.
Now you're like, how bad is it?
Exactly, all right?
And just to set the scene, let me explain. There are sergeant majors that fly out from every district to eyeball everyone, look at them, have a conversation with. It's like the draft.
It is like a draft.
It's kind of intense. Like that whole process. Like once I thought about it, I was like, dude, we were being like pruned and like they were like, no, you get the ugly one.
Yeah,
like,
they were watching.
Damn, like I have too many Hispanics.
Yep.
I need an African American. Like seriously,
it is.
They were demographics. So, it was crazy.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So I'm going to 4th district, right? So I'm like, fuck, man. Like, all right, so where am I going? Sergeant Major sits down. He's like, Evans, hey, you're going to RS Baltimore. So I'm like, all right, cool. Call your Sergeant Major to find out what RSS, which substation you're going to. So I'm like, all right, cool. We let out of the classroom. I called the RS Sergeant Major, and the RS Sergeant Major is like, hey, you're going to RSS Newark. I'm like, where the fuck is Newark at? I have no clue where the hell Newark's at. And so I look it up, Newark, Delaware. Didn't even know this place existed. But I remembered, after I found this information out, that Adam, one of my best friends in the Marine Corps, is from Delaware. So I called him up, and I'm like, hey, man, you're from Delaware, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, have you ever heard of Newark? He's like, bro, that's where I grew up. So I ended up recruiting out of the fucking recruiting station that his dude was recruited out of. Wow. And I was the recruiter for his school.
Damn.
Yeah.
And his mom worked at the school.
Oh.
So
awkward.
Dude, yeah. It was,
no, I'm just kidding.
Like it was actually awesome because I didn't even do that career talk.
That's badass.
Hey, my open door policy. She let me come in and talk to all the students, but it was just insane. Like it was like an act of God.
Yeah, in your mind, it was like.
Yeah, my wife is pregnant. Recruiting duty is an extremely hard duty. It's tough, but just for us to be, there with your family, have that support system for Trish when I'm working all these hours, it was awesome. I mean, I know because you did recruiting duty and you suffered through it. And you saw me suffering through it, so you know what it was like too.
And being there and seeing Wyatt, being born, raising up, being with you guys for those years, it was great. It was great having my best friend just 20 minutes away.
From Florida. Lived in California for 6 years. Both of my kids were born in one of the smallest and the first state. Wild. Like, I would never thought they would have had birth certificates from fucking Delaware, but it is what it is.
Birth state too.
Yeah. It's wild, man. But phenomenal hospital, though.
Yeah.
Like, all the issues that Trish went through, cholestasis, she had sepsis and all this stuff, and that hospital took care of her, dude. It was awesome. Wow. You don't worry about
when Grace was born, they were phenomenal. The nurses, the staff, the midwife. Midwife was badass.
Yeah.
So when she was first there, Christine was in labor for 23 hours. And the midwife, they were trying to pull her somewhere else. And she literally on the phone was like, no, I'm not leaving. This is my responsibility. There are women here who are pregnant, giving birth. This is where I'm staying. And she hung up the phone, whoever she was talking to. I was like,
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. Like, okay, we got a UFC fighter over here. But the staff was just phenomenal. And when Grace was born, all the staff that rotate out throughout the hours, they all came in to see Grace.
Yeah.
It was just, they couldn't. I could not ask for a better delivery.
That hospital is absolutely amazing. Like when Trish went in for sepsis and cholestasis, it was like the extreme, right? Like she was running a ridiculous fever. they thought she was overdosing on Tylenol.
Oh, yeah.
What? No, my wife
Is that possible?
Yeah, my wife didn't overdose on
Check
Tylenol.
her purse.
Out of here. Tylenol? Okay.
Just go over there, crush it with a credit card.
Just need 2 more.
So I was just like,
Who's gonna eat that? 500 milligrams.
She always tells the story because she's like, Trish, both of you know Trish. She's always saying how insensitive I am, right? And I was just trying to, give her that tough love. Like, hey, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through it together. I know you're in pain right now, but come on, you need to buckle down and get through it, right? But due to this, she had a fever. They put one of those, like, liquid blankets on there that, like, the liquid cools inside the blanket. And she was bitching about the blanket, but all I could think of in my mind was, have you guys seen that movie Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story?
Just parts. Yeah.
When he's going through like the heroin fucking withdrawals, and he's like, more blankets! No, less blankets! That's all I could think of in my mind. So I'm like, as serious as the situation was, I was just trying to tough her out, but like after the fact, I thought of that. I was like, oh, that's funny, because everything ended up being great, and Addie's healthy.
Yeah.
Wasn't joking about it at the time, but like that's what it reminded me of. It was hilarious.
It's funny because my recruiting duty experience, as far as because I had my daughter was born on recruiting duty.
Yeah.
So I did that too.
Yeah.
And we were in such a small town in the middle of nowhere in Missouri that the hospital there, it was called Bothwell Hospital. They called it Botchwell. I was like, bro, this ain't happening. My baby girl is not going to Botchwell.
Botchwell.
So I ended
what
up
a name.
Making a pretty good drive, but the place was amazing. Everything was great. She was a Marine Corps baby, born on 11/10 at 11/10.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I missed the ball and called the ball, and they were like, "Rah!" Like it was pretty cool. Like actually,
that's wild.
So yeah, 11:10 in the morning on 11. Yeah.
That's crazy. Man.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah. Anyhow,
intense.
Yeah, and then my son I was in Hawaii, Tripler, they call it Crippler. I was like, there's really no other options. So it was
shit luck, man.
And then again, it all turned out great. I'm not knocking the place, but you hear all the stories and you're like, so, yeah.
You know what I'm actually kind of amazed though, like the whole experience of childbirthing, is as advanced as technology we have, the process, unless there's complications,
Pretty much the same, man.
it's pretty much the same except for pain management.
Yeah.
No, that's a huge... Now, I'm not trying to downplay anything about women getting pregnant.
Right.
I'm just amazed of how you see some processes are still the same. And great examples like glass blowing, for example.
Right.
You guys ever watch that?
Yeah,
They're still using the same techniques, same tools as they did back in the Romans or even old Egyptian days.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just amazes me seeing something that's been around since day one of human history.
The process is solid, man.
Yeah, still there.
Solid process.
Still there.
So it just amazed me. I'm like, man, really? They're just doing pain management. Other than that, and it's funny, the stirrups for Christina, they were broken on that bed. It's like, hey, husband, can you hold a leg? So I was holding one leg, nurse was holding another. So
yeah.
But it was funny. Months before, we were at those child CPR classes, and there was a new dad there, and we were there, and the EMT guy was like, "Hey, new dad, do you have any advice for the up and coming dad?" And the guy looks at me. This is like the small little fur, like half my size. He's like, "Well, I'm kind of squeamish with blood, so." I'm like, I'm not, so got any advice for me? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. The way I answered, he was like, oh. I'm like, dude, blood doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
And, my wife was so embarrassed when because I saw everything. I'm like, no, honestly, it's a beautiful thing.
It wasn't like you came into view and you were like, let's get this done, baby.
Exactly.
You were just there for her. Yeah.
Watching your child being born is just such
it's that first breath, bro. It's that first breath. When you see him, draw that first breath, you're like, oh, shit.
And honestly, I didn't feel a switch, but your mentality just changes just a 180 to where it's not about you anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was like, this is my life. This little thing.
And you've been panicking about it for the last however long. But now you're like, oh.
Once that reality sets in, it's like a switch.
That's exactly it.
I mean, you may, look at other individuals for advice on what to do and how to parent your child, but it's it's like that switch hits. Like you said, this is the most important thing now. I'm going to do anything in my power to take care of this thing, as long as you're a good parent. But yeah, dude, I couldn't agree with you more. Like that switch is instant.
Yeah. And I'm sure you guys did something similar, but like I made my own internal promise. It's like, we brought you into this world. We're going to do our best to provide for you what we can, because you did not ask to come here. We brought you here. Now, doesn't mean we're going to pander. or we're gonna pamper. But at the same time, whatever troubles come our way we're gonna be there by her side.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
It is hard though, because, your kids are, your number one thing, right? And it's hard not, to spoil them.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it myself, dude. Like, why Natty?
Look at me. I'm an asshole in that department.
And Trish gets upset because, like, every time I go to the store, I'm like, hey, if you guys are good, you get a toy. So, like, they always want to go to the store with Dad, right? Like, I'm just a sucker, And Trish is like, no, you don't need anything. It's unless it's like your birthday or Christmas, you don't need it. And I'm like, it's like, that's $20. It's going to make you happy. But then it bites me in the ass because I go in the playroom and clean it. I'm like, where the fuck did all this shit come from?
When your wife comes around the corner,
Now, I tell them, in order to get a new toy, you have to get rid of 10 toys. Donate 10 toys. If you donate 10 toys,
that's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
And dude,
it's so easy too.
They will grab their own bag.
They go through phases so fast during the ages that like it makes sense. They go through a cycle with it, and then they literally haven't touched it in 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah, they have like an attachment to it in a way. They're kind of like, no, that's how my kids are. They're like, oh, and I'm like, listen, have you touched it? How is that a half inch of dust on it? I was like, yeah. Put it in there.
And then they're trying to argue with you. It's like, yeah, well, I'm going to play with it.
But it's a good way to... And then, hey, free. Or Toys for Tots. I've done that many times.
Dude,
yeah.
Hard lesson that I taught Wyatt.
They're not sponsors. I just... Toys for Tots. Everybody knows what that is.
Hard lesson I gave to Wyatt. Like I said, usually they get a toy. Nothing crazy. They're not getting like $50 toys every time we go to Walmart. But like if they're good in the store, they'll get a toy. Christmas season rolls around. Toys for Tots is in front of Walmart. I was like, hey, Wyatt, pick out whatever toy you want. And pick a $20 cap.
Mm-hmm.
He was being an asshole for the rest of the time around the store. So he's sitting here thinking, fuck yeah, I got this toy. Call me an asshole. But I made him put it in the Toys for Tots thing on the way out. And I explained it to him when we got in the car. I was like, look, son, you know why you had to do that? Because you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. You were an asshole in the store. So you had to give up the toy that you got. But then also, you know where that toy's going. Right, you're donating it, to a good cause. Some kid that's not as fortunate as you are is going to be able to get that for Christmas and be able to enjoy that. So, kind of 2 lessons, right? You hold up your end of the bargain of being good, and then also you donate it to a kid who needs it more than you do.
Yeah. Well, that's the important thing is to explain to the kids the lesson. So that's honestly, I don't see you being an asshole. That's actually a really great lesson.
Well, I think the asshole part that I think is like I gave him hope of like, fuck yeah, I just got this toy, and then it's like my dad used to do that shit to me all the time. Like
you just think back to being that age, that crushing moment when that happens. You're like,
or if you forget something that's super important to you, my dad would fucking like put it in his pocket, or like you sneak it out like in today's terms, like if I had a tablet or something like that, like and I left my tablet at the kitchen, like my dad would be like, fuck, your tablet's gone, dude. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm crying and shit. And then he'd be like, no, man, you left it on the table, I grabbed it for you. But like, I'm sitting here thinking I lost this. And I'm like, I left it. No. Well, that's why you gotta keep track of your stuff. Like, hard lessons like that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like, I've learned many hard lessons in life.
I mean, Grace is, obviously being 3.5-ish, close to 4, like, we were going to the restaurant today. And as we were leaving, she was going with Mom to Target and Starbucks and all that wonderful stuff while we did our thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to go to Target and Starbucks. I'm like, it's okay, Grace. Grace, don't worry, Grace. This is only the worst day of your life so far. It only gets worse.
You gotta keep that going.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Starbucks and Target. That way when she grows up, whoever she marries, she's like, hey, thank you, dude. Like,
it's already it's a long battle. Christina been going to Starbucks. Grace gets her pink drink, gets her pumpkin bread.
Getting her all set up.
I mean, I'm a basic white girl when it comes to avocado, pumpkin. I'm the reason they do
those
that.
PSLs and pumpkin spice latte.
Yep. If I could be a pumpkin spice farmer, I would.
Yeah, pumpkin season. Wow.
I love pumpkin and everything. I'm not sorry.
They take it a little too far though with some of the
pumpkin spice coffee is not that great.
I do like some a pumpkin spice latte, like a one-time seasonal thing. Like I'm not drinking this shit every fucking day.
Yeah.
But like they get crazy with I've heard, and I don't know if this is correct what I heard, but I remember hearing something about like pumpkin spice mac and cheese. And I'm like, who the fuck is like
who is doing
feeding
this?
into this shit?
That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Because I always
stuff out.
I love coffee. I've always been like coffee, and I would usually drink like really strong ass espresso, whatever, and then like some kind of low fat milk. Like I didn't really do any flavoring, and that was my thing. And I'd drink it, and then the truth is as I've gotten older, like I can't drink coffee like that anymore.
Yeah,
it just
mine's always sweet.
goes right through you.
it does go.
No, I'm just saying it's a whole different story. So in the mornings, like coffee, I'm like, whoop, nope, better be late afternoon.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you.
I can shit my pants when I
It's
work.
a fucking true story, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, I drink my coffee with a lot of cream, and I'm trying to back off any kind of sweetener.
Yeah.
But I try not to do sugar. I try to do like the stevia or whatever.
Yeah, I do.
They're supposed to be like a plant sugar, so your body doesn't store it the same way as like regular sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually like the sugar-free French vanilla coffee mate shit.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I've read some recently. It's like not good for you at all. But
I think everything's not good for you anymore.
There's a lot of things that aren't good
you
for
can't
you.
avoid everything. You know what
I mean, Liver King was fake, so I mean,
Taxes aren't good for you.
my world is when he said he was on steroids, I was like, no.
Hey, I will give it to him though, man. He did man up about it. I mean, obviously he didn't have a choice, but like I did. I'll give it to him how he like addressed it. Like, yeah, I fucking lied. You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
He did try to spin it. He was trying to do it for people on depression.
Oh, did he?
I didn't watch the full apology. I don't know if someone just took it out of context.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
but I mean,
entirely possible.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's YouTube. Everyone takes everything. But, you know, like you said, if he manned up, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
I mean, I saw him straight up man up, and then he went on Andrew Schultz's podcast. I don't know if you know that guy. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
He is great.
He is probably one of my favorite comedians right now.
Yeah.
Bill Burr's the all-time GOAT in my opinion. But it's like right there. But he went on that, and like he was definitely taking licks, bro. They're fucking talking shit to him, and like, why'd you lie, bro? Like straight up. And then like he explained himself, and I was like, all right, dude, whatever, man.
Yeah, I know. It
Here you
just,
go.
Yeah, right.
Bring it in. All right.
But yeah, I mean that dude just bothered me though. Like, fucking, I love like seeing the videos, and then it's like, what is Liver Queen or whatever the fuck? Like Liver Queen, blink twice if you're in danger. It's like I saw one video where like the cook put like a plate of lettuce and he fucking smacked it away, and like his wife was like visually pissed off. You like saw like she was like, I mean, he was using that to put on my burger, and he's like, oh, fucking testicles over vegetables. Ah, I was just like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
I don't care if people use steroids. Just if you're gonna, just don't pass yourself as natural. And if anyone who's like serious in the fitness, you can tell the signs.
yeah.
If someone is taking that kind of stuff.
Well, that's
So,
what.
but he fooled. Well, I mean, so like I don't care if people take steroids because I mean almost all athletes, fighters, so they all take it in some fashion.
Yeah.
Find ways to get around tests and whatnot. So it's like as long as you're upfront about it.
Well, that's what Andrew Schultz and his crew were like getting at, like misleading the people, right?
Yeah.
Because he was living this like, or portraying that he was living this ancestral lifestyle, eating all this shit, and people thinking like, oh, well, if I follow that, I'm gonna look like that. And it's like, no, dude, like, you're never gonna look like that.
That's not natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Joe Rogan called him out and all that shit. Like, there's like no way that this dude's fucking all natural, but whatever, man.
Hey, like so
coming
these-
out.
At least he manned up to it, taking the licks and everything.
Yeah.
Instead of being a little biatch.
Dude, I'm fucking tired. So we stayed up till 1:30 last night playing
Yeah.
Rocket League last night. I already told you about my dog shitting all over upstairs. I gave her some wet dog food, and I don't think her diet is definitely not used to
Let's
that.
just say it didn't come out all right.
It didn't come out. Right. Anyways, so Trish had to work. The kids are at school today. I got a 4-day weekend. But Trish woke me up at 6:30 this morning, and she shit in the room again.
Trish?
Yeah.
Whoa! Whoa!
What the fuck? She walked up, she's a squad. Like,
Amber Heard, what are you doing here?
Hell of a twist. Hell of a twist.
I was wondering, be like Johnny Depp, you know? I found out this morning.
Hey, you want to role play, Johnny Depp? No.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Lola shit all over the floor again this morning. So,
Oh, this sweet
I
thing.
got about 4 hours of sleep last night. But
Yeah, I got about maybe a little more, like 5. But yeah, I got up.
I got 8, but then I slept. I didn't have to clean up shit.
Yeah, diabetes dog and drive kids to school, and And then we were talking about first watch, and I was like, he was like, hey, we've been going back to the gym, right? Because
Hey,
you always do that. You go through the cycle. This is my first hard retired cycle. Like, I did already do a cycle of going back to the gym.
Bro. Yeah.
And then I was like, nah. And then now I'm like, yeah, I gotta go back to the gym, dude.
You gotta start somewhere, man.
Yeah, dude.
But I was like, yo, what about first watch? And she was like, I am kind of sore from physical therapy. And I was like, okay. Yeah, let's do it. So we went to first watch.
So we
just missed you guys.
Yeah, because we ended up getting there, and then I think Adam and Christina thought you guys were meeting us there. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I was on the wrong
because she sent us that video. I'm like,
I was just messing with you guys. Like, I was like, I didn't know when you were going. I was like, we might see him there. I don't know.
That was our first time having it, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
dude, that's a great place. Great place.
I'll
enjoy it.
Fucking breakfast tacos.
No, breakfast tacos.
Yep.
Farm, whatever.
I had a beef ass breakfast.
Just the biscuits and gravy. If you haven't,
I haven't had the biscuits and gravy.
you need to do it.
I was telling Adam Trish and like, what the fuck, dude? How'd you spend $30 at first watch just on your own? So
Yeah.
I had the breakfast tacos, and then I had the avocado toast with the 2 eggs.
Yeah.
I ate all. I was like,
Yeah, all of it.
I was like, I'm gonna fuck all this shit up. I was like, I believe you, bro. And then we got our tabs, and him and his fucking 3-person family was only $6 more than my meal. I felt like a piece of shit. I'm like,
You should have like, Trish, this is for you.
For the homies.
Dude, it was fucking ridiculous.
Wish you were here. Well, I ate for you.
Fucking asinine. $30 on a fucking single person.
I was gonna say, Mindy and I was $30.
I fucking down the hole.
Dude, you destroyed
That
it.
was so good.
like
that
with
was,
the tip, you know what I mean? Like, no, but yeah, because you go there, you get like the biscuits and gravy, and it's really good. And then they're like, hey, you want some like potatoes over here? Yeah, put them. Like, damn, like, feel guilty as fuck, but this is good.
It's just
Although the highlight of my day right now, at least so far, is not getting him a cheaper discount on the item for my joke.
fuck
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm ready
because
for my
someone
stand-up
got
now.
it. Yeah, they got
so-
your joke.
What Adam's talking about is I had to go to Best Buy. Again, he's down here because it's my son's birthday. My son's about to turn 8, so we bought him his first laptop. It's a touchscreen laptop. Went to Best Buy on a whim. Went to the app. They said it was out of stock. So I was like, hey man, just out of curiosity, do you have this? Do you have this laptop? It says it's out of stock on the app. He's like, yeah man, let me go check. Oh, we actually have an open box. So it was like $30 cheaper. And I was like, hey man, could you open up the box so I could actually look at it, make sure there's no scratches, nothing like that, make sure it's like in good condition before I buy this. Spend a couple $100. So he's like, yeah, let me go find a box cutter. Well, anyways, he couldn't find a box cutter. And I was like, well, that's kind of a weird thing to not like to lose or fucking somebody steal it. And then Adam's like, you have to see my stapler? And the dude started laughing, right? He started laughing. And the original price was like $331, and he's like, "Hey," he called a manager over, and he busted it down to like $299. And I was like, "Hey man, I appreciate you doing that for me." And he's like, "Nah, dude, I appreciate your friend's joke. Made my day." So I got a $30 discount for some fucking Office Space joke.
Yeah, then when he said that at first, I thought he meant like he opened a brand new box and then was like, put the sticker on it. Open box, buddy.
We did that.
But
I'm gonna start going
still
shopping.
a good story. Still a good story. But when you said that, that's how I interpreted it. I was like, "Yo, what's his name?"
Yeah. Let's go to Best Buy right now.
I got proof to my wife. Hey, people find me funny. First paid gig.
There you go. Yeah.
And anyone confused right now, it's Office Space.
If
you don't know.
now.
Yeah.
She makes stupid.
That was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
And then we didn't really do much. Just breakfast, clean up shit. Best Buy and then Walmart. We're having a barbecue tonight.
Yep.
A bunch of Marine Corps buddies getting together.
Yeah.
And we want to the aquarium tomorrow for Wyatt's birthday.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys have anything going on. If you want to go, but
Yeah, we got a couple things. Nothing crazy, but yeah, we got a few things.
it's a whole event. Getting y'all out of the house.
Yeah, it is. You're like, hey, you guys want to meet us? And we're like,
Well, I mean, how many could you ever do?
no, we do. It's just really like, because Mindy and I, we're very outgoing. We love going out.
No, I know,
stuff.
yeah.
But it's like, when you go, hey, let's go do that, and then we go with the kids, and then we're like, what if we could leave one of them home? It would go smooth. No. If we're doing this event, these two stay home, we'd still be good, And then we're just like, no, fuck.
So
Let them all stay home.
Who's coming tonight? Camden and
I think just Camden and August.
How
were they?
That's
Kendall's at work. She might have come, but she probably would have said no.
Yeah.
I'll just lay in bed and talk to him.
How old are your kids?
16. Sorry, 16. About to be 13 because his birthday's
on the
right
19th, right?
yep. And 10 and 9. So
Okay.
yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
So they'll be annoyed by my kid.
No, dude. No, Camden and August are awesome.
If Kendall came, you probably
Kendall,
get attached to her.
you see her at all. She's working and doing her thing, and
Yeah.
then Liam's always.
I know she'd get along with your daughter. She always gets, and she'd be like all over her the whole time, and then we'd be leaving, and she'd be like, "No," because Kendall just, I don't know, she has like this connection with little kids,
Oh, there we go.
but she won't be here.
Yeah, Grace
I
will be
just
the
get
kid.
along great with her.
Oh, yeah,
It's like,
dude. It was funny. Grace is like, come on, friend.
Yeah.
Like, instantly she just sees it. I mean, they met before and played, so not total strangers, but still. Grace, yeah, that only child syndrome, so everyone's a friend.
You can have more.
Yeah.
Wife and I debating about that.
Yeah.
Thing is, for me, it's just there's a lot of times when Grace where we tag out. So 2 parents, 1 kid. So if one is burnt out because wife's home with the kid all day,
absolutely.
I come home, she goes out the garage, I work out, we play out there.
Yeah.
I can keep her entertained. It's easy.
Yeah.
If we have a second kid, then it's man-on-man defense.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
I just don't know. Right now, I just don't think we'd be able to mentally and maybe
Yeah.
even financially too, to a point,
Yeah.
because one, double of everything.
Yeah.
Well, actually, how is it having 2 kids versus 1? Because you had wife for a couple of years before Addie came along.
It's not bad. I mean, we kind of talked a little bit about this on episode 1. Is
I'm going to rewatch it.
so he has 4. He has
Yep.
4 kids. I have 2.
I was gonna say, so when you're done giving it, I'll tell you my version
Okay, yeah.
because it goes up more.
Yeah. So they say 3 is the toughest
Yeah.
because, and I think we talked about it last time. Like, because when you have 4, usually in pairs of 2s they can entertain one another. When you have 3, it's like that odd man out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's always
2.
someone harassing the parent.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Always one out in the cold. We're gonna go to the parents.
So 2 is easy, in my opinion, because me and Trish can divide and conquer. Even if we need to, ours are so close in age that they play with each other, they entertain each other. Obviously, they get pissy with one another, and it's just natural.
Well,
Brother and
yeah.
sister, but like
I fear the siblings.
it's
so
not
I know.
bad really at all.
Okay.
As far as like financially, I'm not saying having a kid is cheap or anything like that, but I'm saying, Second Charles, there's resources like that. Friends, hand-me-downs, like not
Yeah.
above any of that shit, right?
Yeah.
No, we're not too. Like, she does a lot of shopping at Once Upon a Child, stuff like that. And honestly, we've had so much stuff donated.
Yeah.
And honestly, we've done that too. I've just packed up my car, my Explorer, of donation stuff that we had for Grace. So Once Upon a Child just got like 5, 6 big black bags of
absolutely.
stuff. And I've given a bunch to my sister. So yeah, having just one kid's really not financially that much. It's just, I don't know. I'm just kind of.
I think it comes in waves, right? So, like, obviously, when you first have the kid and they're
Yeah.
newborns, it's expensive. You're buying diapers, you're buying formula if your wife's not into breastfeeding or whatever. You're buying all the essentials that a baby needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once they get out of that stuff, you don't have to pay for diapers anymore. You don't have to pay for wipes. You don't have to pay for formula. You don't have to pay for any of that stuff. And then once they hit grade school and now they're into sports and gymnastics, then you kind of get hit again financially. But like you kind of got that buffer room, at least in my opinion. Like from like 3 to 6, it was just Christmas, birthdays, and there's just their daily needs.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously once they get older, why I was talking about doing piano lessons at like $200 a month. So it depends.
And then
but
following it up on the back end of that, when they get older, so most people will say, oh, they're more self-sufficient, they kind of do their own thing. Yes, it's 100% true. You can be a little more standoffish. You can go watch a couple TV shows and really not really worry too much. I'll see her in a little bit. You know what I mean? No big deal.
But they want the more expensive things when they're older, right?
Well, I mean,
the iPads.
As I got older, really the scary thing about becoming an adult is realizing there's no real. Everyone's just a bigger kid.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's all it is.
Straight. I mean, just take a look around this room.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a
Dude,
man child, dude. Like,
I have expensive tastes in certain toys of mine too. But actually, I'll show. We'll show after the podcast. But again, it's. Where I was going with that. Brain.
what are you gonna do, gun?
No, well, it's newer one to you because you haven't seen it.
Nice.
Oh.
Is it AR pistol or?
No. It's a Staccato C2. It's my carry gun. It's a 2011 9mm.
Oh, the 2011 that you were talking about. Yeah, dude.
I have about 5,000 rounds to that thing in the past year. Did a couple training courses with it. It is my favorite.
Yeah.
Got a little red dot on top. Surefire X300 light.
No shit.
It's badass. They're expensive.
Yeah.
But if you guys...
Yeah, but if you... That's
I have a hookup. If you guys want, I get a pretty steep discount.
Okay.
That they're still giving me. And they're okay with how many... So if you ever want it, I can't mention on the podcast. But,
Okay.
Well, no, we can mention this on here, but I'm not going to mention how I get it.
Yeah, don't worry.
The good stuff will be left out.
But remember that rifle you're looking at? And you're like, man, that's too much money?
Yeah.
It comes out to about that price even with the discount.
Holy shit.
Yeah, their pistols are like $2,300 to $2,400 starting.
Oh my god. Yeah,
But
that's
one of the days whenever I'm down here, we go to the range, try it out, you might see why.
yeah.
You might be tempted, maybe.
I mean, you already put 5,000 rounds down in a year.
I freaking love it. I want to put another 10 through it.
He'll pull off like 10 rounds and be like, sold. As soon as you feel the difference from like my whatever I have, like a SIG Sauer, which I love my SIG,
with the scar. I mean,
but yeah, going to that, you just that feeling when you're like, oh, you're like, yep.
Yeah, when you shoot them side by side, so like a lot of my friends, they have the Shadow Systems, which is really like an upgraded Glock, and they shoot phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, I love them. They have comps on them and everything. A comped Glock doesn't compete, in my opinion, to a 2011. So a big advantage is like how the spring system is set up.
Mm-hmm.
So 2011s, 1911s, they got two springs. You got the recoil spring, you got the hammer spring. So as the gun goes off, the hammer spring slows down the slide, and the recoil spring puts it back in the battery. So you have this like momentum going on. So a lot of 1911s, as you shoot, they go back to pretty much point of aim. So you don't. So your SIG Glocks, they only have that one dual recoil spring or recoil spring.
Yeah.
So you find
Big difference.
Big difference. Now with the Glocks and SIGs, well, not the SIGs, but the Glocks, you got a higher bore axis, so the flip's not as bad. But you notice when you shoot a SIG or a Glock and don't try to fight it down, the muzzle will be up higher in the air from when you aimed versus a 1911, 2011.
Yeah, it drops to its original. Yeah.
Now you can learn to grip the gun and fight it to where it goes back to point of aim.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier with the 2011.
Yeah.
Where it's like it does most of the work for you. So really, you're like, I just gotta hold my hand here and just pull trigger. Like,
pretty legit.
Yeah.
It's like I said. Next time we go to the range, we can shoot them all side by side. So it's something to feel. Yeah, it's expensive, but I absolutely love the gun. It weighs just as much as a Glock, and I shot out to 75 yards. Hit targets. I shot a 4-inch group at 45 yards, standing, two hands. With my carry ammo.
Jesus, dude.
I wouldn't do that with my SIG. I'd be like,
I drive 4-inch
group.
Yeah, I got
75.
Now I don't have a video showing it, so
No, I get it, dude.
Well, it was pissing me off. We were trying to do the. Are you familiar with Eli Dickens or Eli? I think it's Elijah or Eli Dickens. Young man in Indiana stopped a mass shooter. He fired from 40 yards away. And from my understanding, he actually advanced onto the shooter, but he hit him 8 out of 10 times with his stock Glock and stopped the shooter. The shooter only was able to shoot 1 or 2 people. And the armed shooter was armed with an AR-15 and everything.
Holy shit. When was this?
Oh, this
was like
6 months ago.
What did they look into it hard enough?
Yeah,
They think like there's no way, and then they were like, "Oh, he did it."
Yeah, he did it. Yeah, at first, he fired 40 yards away, and everyone's like, "No, that's about."
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure people had to have been like, "Come on."
Yeah.
Well, you'd be like,
turns out he
it.
fired 2 rounds at 40 yards,
Yeah.
supported. He was up against a beam, supposedly missed, and he closed distance and then got the guy.
Damn.
But a drill that came out, everyone now is doing a drill where they shoot at 40 yards onto a torso-sized target, have to hit 8 out of 10 times, which I think is a fantastic thing. You'll make the drill harder.
Yeah.
You know? So me and a friend were doing that, and the practice ammo I was using was like all over the place. So, but it was some cheap ammo from a company I'll never buy again. And I'm like, man, what the hell? I'm like, I'm shooting here, I'm hitting here, shooting. I'm like,
you can tell the difference.
well, and then I'm like, at the end, after like 5 times doing this, I'm like, oh, let me grab my carry ammo, because I know it's federal, 124 grain punch, very accurate stuff. Shot a group, I pulled one, but that pulled one made it a 4-inch group. 4 out of 5 shots were within like 2.5 inches.
Wow.
With this gun, and I was like, okay, it's the ammo.
Yeah.
Now, I just dry fire a lot. I love it. I carry a gun, so therefore I see I need to practice as much as I can.
Yeah,
And dry fire is free because there's no rounds going off, and I can do it at home.
I haven't shot since we did that shooting package, really. Well, I took my 1911 to my dad's house and bullshit in the backyard. Because you can do that there. It's like 7 acres.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wish I had that because that's what I'd be doing.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I'd be doing all kinds of stuff.
Actually, like shooting targets, that thing that we did here.
Yeah.
That shit was fun, but I really haven't shot like in that capacity since. But I would love to. I did shoot the new Marine Corps pistol, the SIG.
Yeah.
I like it significantly better than the Beretta.
The SIG's actually a really good gun. I like it.
I like it because it's not double action.
With a 12-pounder
fucking
trigger pull.
God,
I just got so used to that old trusty Beretta, boy. I don't know.
Do you remember?
I know when I considered my first pistol, as much as I hate that pistol, in my mind when I went to go get it, I was like, let me just look at the Berettas.
Yeah.
I'm really good with this.
Yeah,
I've slept with this.
Remember Hensley?
Yeah.
I've been your wife for a little while.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I still looked, but I didn't get it. But yeah, that was the point, is that's how significant it is.
No, I fired the SIG M18. I fired a few other versions of the SIG P320. It's very accurate.
I got the 320. I like it.
Yeah. It's a very, I think it was a good choice.
It's just, I like the way it fits in the hand. I don't know what it is about the grip. It's not necessarily the grip. I think it's just the shape that they do there.
How they
You have something.
You have a P320?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's what goes against the Hellcat, right? The 365.
365 against Hellcat.
365 is against Hellcat. I want to get the Hellcat because I like Springfield. I love Springfield. But.
You know what? You can't go wrong with either one. You can get optics right. You get all the same features. And they even have a Hellcat that has a compensator that comes with it now, too. Now, I haven't shot it with the compensator, so I don't know how much it helps.
I almost bought one in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So in Tennessee, you could buy it and walk out of the store same day with it. And then there's a law, like if you buy it, you could just gift it to your family. There's really no...
Yeah, that's a federal law. You can gift.
No paperwork or anything like that. So I was like,
Yeah.
fucking dad, buy me this shit, but I couldn't convince the wife.
Yeah, I was like,
be careful, though. You can buy it as a gift, but you gotta be careful on straw purchases.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I wish, dude. Like that's my next gun for sure. The Hellcat, and then I'm good on rifles right now. I got the AR, I got the Scar 17, I got a Mossberg 500, the 1911, and then a Springfield XDS 45.
I really miss that Scar 20. I'm gonna buy another Scar 20.
I can't believe you sold it, bro.
Me too, but it had to be done for multiple reasons.
That's why, like, he broke down on the podcast and told you, like, it was a really sad moment.
Bro.
Like, it was like, he was like, I kept it a secret. It hurt me too, but I knew how much it would hurt you.
Dude, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Dude, the gun was just
what was your serial
phenomenal.
number? Like 5 or something?
26.
26. Number 26 ever made.
It was the 200 limited edition, which meaning it just came with paperwork, came with the case, but the gun was so. Here's my favorite thing about it: 20-inch barrel 308 with a 1 in 12 twist, which is a slower twist, but they designed that way to help use with M80 ball from the M240s. So if the DMR guy runs out of ammo with the precision, you can still use M80 ball and still put accurate shots. That rifle never, and I shot all 308 ammo through it, from cheap 145 grain to the military M118 LR, and then some hand loads of my own. It never did worse than 2-inch groups at 100 yards with M80 ball. Even M80 ball, I was getting like 1.5 inches, and I was like, do I really need to buy this precision stuff? Like 1.5 inches, I can hit out to 700 yards if I wanted to.
What was that optic you had on there?
It was a Night Force NX8 4-32.
Dude, that thing was money.
It was. I loved that optic. I split up the package.
You guys got me having like Call of Duty for real. That's
honestly, the TAC M in Call of Duty is the Scar 20.
Yeah,
and that's my favorite gun to run. For Tier 1 and I'm starting to try using more Warzone. Actually, a couple matches we did really well on. I was using the TAC M. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to understand a little bit more. Yeah. Because it takes so many shots to break the armor.
Yeah.
But if I was going to buy that gun again, I would do 6.5 Creedmoor, cut down to a 16-inch barrel just to make it more compact. Because I don't need to shoot up to 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
But I just loved how that gun just operated. It was just. like with my hand loads, I literally, and I'm not trying to brag, it's just I was dialing it in. I was able to get a less than half-inch group printed with 5 shots. I had 4 shots pretty much in the same hole, and one I pulled like a quarter inch away. That gun was
That's
so.
what I'm saying. If I missed 4 shots too,
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I completely missed paper. Oh, yeah, the one right there.
All
right there.
See all that extra smoke ring there?
I did have a witness at the range, although we're not on talking terms anymore.
Yeah.
Never mind, I don't have a witness.
I'm not really, honestly, and that's why pistols have always been one of my favorite, just because I was back in the day, or whatever you want to say, where you got pistols as a lance corporal. So I've been pistol qualling since I've been a lance corporal, right? All the way through
back
my
in the day, bro.
Yeah, like
we
16
never saw
times.
that shit.
I never saw-
16
What's a
time
pistol?
expert pistol.
Yeah. Bro, I haven't even shot rifle that many
Right,
times.
but we know it's
Yeah.
But I just learned. I had a really good coach. Like, it was a sergeant, and the dude was like, "Hey, come here." And I don't know what his thing was with me. I mean, there was like 3 of us, but he spent a lot of time with me. And he was like, "Look," and he even put like the dummy round in there. And then I would go, like, the dummy round is, and it doesn't. And then he would be like, "Look, what'd you just do?" I anticipated a shot.
Yeah.
And he, literally, that 1 week on the range, and it just blew my mind how much I understood. I'm like, just. And then you get it, you just feel it, like, it's crazy. But
That's a good teacher.
That is,
Yeah.
I mean, that is one thing.
that's the only reason, like, I was any good at it.
Those Marine Corps coaches, bro, like, if you listen to the fundamentals and you actually
Oh, it's
apply
no shit,
all of
man.
that shit, it's like night and day. And that's what we were always told, like, when I was on recruiting duty, like, the dudes who do the best usually in boot camp on the rifle range are guys who've never shot before.
Yep.
Because they don't bring any bad habits in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have your guys that have been shooting their whole lives.
They don't have deer season. They don't have any of that stuff.
But like the guys who are learning it in boot camp, like they fucking shoot great.
On
was
average.
never-
Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh no, I was just saying I was never really shooting before I joined the Marine Corps. And then back in our day, we used iron sights, right? And like, follow the fundamentals.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
And then once I got to the ACOG in the fleet, I was like, "What's this?"
No, I was the guy that was directed by the CO as a staff sergeant. He said, "Miller, you're going to shoot with the ACOG." I was like, "Yes, sir." And then he's like, "Miller, look at me." You're shooting with the ACOG. Because I was the one begging to not switch.
Really?
A year after, like, I avoided it. I still got one more iron sights in, and I was pushing it away. And then when I did it, I was like, why? Why did I not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, the
ACOG's
ACOG's
money, bro.
It was after that, it was game over, dude.
And
I
the
thought about
ACOG is
getting
still
one for my
dominant.
scar. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I thought about getting one for my scar because I like how you were looking at the Beretta.
Yeah.
I know the ACOG, know how to use it.
Yeah.
Why not? And the scar can handle, or the ACOG can handle the scar.
Yep. ACOG, dude, it honestly, there's actually, so the firearms industry is such a weird place. I worked at a gun shop for a part-time for a little bit. It was a lot of fun because I get to talk about guns, talk about training, and, and you get some people like, "Oh, you're a vet too?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was in the Marines. I walked circles in the desert for a little bit. That's about all I did." And then some people are like, "Yeah, you did more than that." I'm like, "No,
They're
I
all
didn't. I
confused.
literally
They're like,
walked,
yeah, whatever, war dog.
I literally walked, yeah, they're like, "You're so humble." I'm like, "Because I didn't do anything." But I just, I only say that to people who were like brand new. So they, I was trying to give them assurance like, "Hey, look, I take this seriously."
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to just sell you something. If I'm saying, "Hey, this is what I would pick," it's because, I did do something a little bit serious, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give assurance to people.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what I would pick. This is what I would recommend. And, reliability is the first thing. It has to be reliable. Everything else is secondary.
Yeah.
But, working in the gun shop. Oh, yeah, we're talking about the ACOG. Yeah, well, the industry, scopes are like, they're fads right now. People going to like putting big scopes on their guns, and then now there's LPVOs, which are low power variable optics, usually like a 1:6, 1:8, 1:10. And now you got people bitching going, "Oh, well, at distance, at my parallax adjustment," pretty much if you're not having perfect eye relief, you're not, cheek weld, and you're off a little bit, your shot might be off a little bit. Oh, who the fuck knows? Like, remember how I talked about the ACOG?
Who would have thought? Yeah.
If you have, your circle and you have any black showing,
Scope shadow.
Yeah.
scope shadow,
It's not going where you think it's going.
It may not hit where you think it's going.
Yeah.
Same concept. So you actually seen like the ACOG is still, people talk about like, well, the ACOG is still around. It's never going to go away.
No.
And,
there's variants of it, but it's ACOG especially.
Yeah,
I love it.
Dude,
I love it.
They even have a 3 times where it has the eye relief the same as like a red dot in a way.
Ooh.
So a red dot usually you can just, it doesn't matter where your head is, as long as it's sighted, it's going to hit the target reasonably. Most of them are parallax free. The Trijicon made an ACOG where they lowered the field of view from distance, but they made it to where your eye relief, you can have your head further back and doesn't be up as close as on your ACOG.
No shit.
So
wow.
they have a lot of different models. You can get one with a little RMR red dot on top of the ACOG. So you got your little 1 times red dot, you got your 4 times.
Damn.
And a gentleman I shoot with named Vince, he has ACOGs from when they first came out. Still, the tritium is still glowing. And they should have, they say a 10-year half-life. Well, he has them for like 15 years.
You'd think it'd be dull by then. Yeah.
It was still bright. We had to put a piece of tape on top. I showed him that. He was like, oh, I never thought of that. I'm like,
It was like,
well,
it's the first thing I learned in boot camp.
I was like, as soon as you got to Afghanistan, you realize, fuck, it's bright out here.
Yeah. You have any good discounts for ACOGs, bro?
I might be able to.
Right now, man.
Pretty much, well, since I do have something in the works, I can see what some people have. I'll send you pictures.
Yeah, I need to get an optic because I'm just rolling iron sights on the scarf, so I'm not doing it too much justice. But yeah, we've been having this conversation forever. I just haven't, pulled the trigger yet. I guess.
Dude, you got
literally
all the good options are expensive. The EOTech with the magnifier, that was what, close to $800. Where I think
you found me one for like $400 or $500 though.
Yeah, from a Hollow Sun. That's, honestly, made in China, but honestly, they have a great warranty and they're solid. Plenty of people beat up on them.
Yeah, I gotta get something on that gun. I had a red dot on my AR-15, but it ended up breaking, so I haven't replaced that. So basically, I have all these rifles, no optics on them. Well, whatever, man.
Whatever.
Iron sights.
Iron sights.
Full circle.
Well, that's it. Irons. It's gotta know them. Even if you buy the top line red dots and whatnot, guess what? Batteries can still die. Doesn't mean the battery's going to last as long as it says it does.
Yeah. True.
And honestly, it's good to have both. I have always had backup at least Magpul flips on like my AR-15s, like my MK18. I have backups on both, except for one because I have an LPVO on one to try it out, a 1:8. So I have a 1:8 scope on a 10.3-inch barrel gun. Believe it or not, actually, it's not. It's actually works out pretty well because it's a pound heavier, so the gun doesn't even move from the recoil.
It's like way steadier.
Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't jump nearly as much. Who knew putting a pound weight on it helps with that?
That's great.
But
so you got a telescope? Yeah.
Well,
a telescope.
Another friend of mine wants one of my uppers from that, so I might trade him. He has a gaming PC he wants to.
Ooh.
So I might trade him the upper for that because he really wants it, and I have 2 MK18, so works out.
Telling you, I went from that same transition just in general from always being. I grew up on PCs, always on a computer, always a computer. Never. I had like Nintendo. I'm not gonna say I didn't have those consoles, but like PC was my thing. And even as I got into the Marine Corps, I still had a PC real young, and I kept having a PC. And then it just got to that point with having kids, and it was like life's kicking our ass. So we all kind of moved to console. So all my boys are on console, and then years later after I got out, now I'm like, I want a fucking PC. You know what I mean? Like, it just hit me. And I was like, I'm so glad I'm back. I fucking missed it. I love it.
I have literally everything except for a fucking PC.
Yep.
Like, I need to get a PC.
I've been wanting a PC for a while. I just spend my money on other stuff because, my eyes were opened up with my brother when Battlefield 3 was out on the 360 then.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing, my favorite shooting game of all time was Battlefield 3. I put over 1,000+ hours. I probably could have had 2 more degrees if I applied that to anything else. I came home and my brother had his PC and he had Battlefield 3 on. He's like, hey, try it on this. And as soon as I started, you had double the player count. But the graphics and movement was so much smoother and clearer. And it was just like, it was 9-day difference. I'm like, fuck.
Wow. So, graphics and, the fluentness of it are both great points. But one of the things that really make me want to get a PC is when I see an awesome game, and I'm like, man, that looks fucking awesome. Only released on PC. I'm like,
fucker. Yeah, you're like, this isn't as awesome as it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like my main reason, just to have Steam
Yep.
and then be able to download all the games that I can't play on the PS5.
And I know, honestly, there's a difference when I play Rocket League. A very noticeable difference when I play on my PC. And I'm like,
I need to upgrade my monitor, honestly.
yeah,
this
and
thing's
it
only
is
fucking
fucking
60 hertz.
dope. But I don't mind playing on PlayStation because it looks just as pretty.
Yeah.
But we're all on PlayStation, and I'm not going to be like, because game chat in any game has been straight garbage.
Yeah.
It never works.
Yeah, that's true.
So some cross plays are great. Some are better than others. Some aren't. So.
And actually, I really want to get Cyberpunk, but I want to get it on PC so I can get mods that people.
I was going to say I have it on
seen Skyrim with
PS5
mods.
if you want.
It makes the game so.
Fallout with mods.
Yeah.
Is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, that's. Oh yes.
But I would revisit Cyberpunk if I had it on PC. But I bought it for PS5 and I played it. So
I gotta revisit.
I was like, if you want to play it, I could give it to you before you leave. It's on PlayStation, but hey, if you want to.
Well, they made a lot of. They
did
update
it a lot. Like,
and they have a new.
I haven't went back in so long.
They have a free DLC coming out.
Yeah, we can try it.
They have a DLC, a big one coming out here this spring to advance the story.
There were things I liked about it. There really were. I didn't like completely give up on it, but there were too many complicated things happening, and I was too excited to play it that I was like, I'll come back later when you get your shit together.
Yeah.
Because I still think there could be something there.
I feel so bad for the guys working on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't their decision to release it.
It was executives that rushed them.
Yeah.
Those dudes are trying to do what was best, and they just put a Band-Aid on it. And, yes, sir, and threw it out the door.
They're under pressure. They're under stress. Hey, you guys need to release this.
And this was their baby for like what? 8 years they've been advertising.
They hyped it so much, dude. I hate when they do that. The long con.
They brought Keanu Reeves in.
Yeah, the long con, bro. Then they do that in the movie previews lately too, man. They're like 2024. I'm like, bitch. Like, you guys are killing me. I was like, I know this was in December, so I was like, wait, it's still December. Earlier in December.
I mean, think about this. GTA 5. We're on the third fucking console right now. Like, how long are we going to continue to milk this game?
That because I always go back.
You always go back, but like, dude.
Yeah.
I know Red Dead Redemption.
Yep, always
one
go
of the
back.
greatest games of all time.
Love it.
Yeah.
Has been in between the GTA 5 release and what I hope to see soon, GTA 6. But like, the third console that we re-release this game on, like, give the fans what they want. I think they did a teaser about a month ago. I think I sent it to all you guys, and it looks like it's gonna be like Vice City themed, which I'm really hoping for because I love Vice City. Vice City was fucking amazing. But GTA 6, like, come on, Rockstar, if you ever see this, GTA 6,
please.
Although someone made a video I saw was like, this is why GTA 6 is taking so long, and they show like the minuscule details from Red Dead. Like people eating, and literally the food is being cut, lifted up, and ate, and disappears off the plate.
Like somebody had to do that.
Someone had to.
In there.
And like stupid details like that. Like actually, one of the side missions that randomly, like as I was just riding along, the guy was on a horse. His arm was like all bloody. He's like, "Help me! Take me to a doctor." So I'm like, "Here." I put him on the horse, took him to the doctor. Doctor, knocks him out with some cocaine or medicine, whatever they use back then. And he starts amputating his arm.
Hacksaw the arm.
And you watch him cut through the arm. Like, it doesn't just, like, suddenly just cut off. No, it's,
like,
you see
in detail,
in detail. And it's like, I was watching, like, is this, like, part of the mission? Because this is when I first played it, so I didn't know what was story and what was just world.
Yeah.
I've never seen a game that detailed.
So that's another thing that makes that game great is those random interactions, right? You're just riding your fucking horse. Help me! And you're like, what? Like, I beat the game, but I never even saw that in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that.
Have you seen Westworld, bro?
Yeah.
It kind of gave me some weird Red Dead vibes. I mean, a little bit. I know.
Westworld's good, man. Good show. I only seen the first season. I didn't finish it.
But and I mean that the connection is like they go there to like live this other life and be this other person for help. Like, we're in the Wild West. We're pretending. Yeah, I got a lot of money. I don't know what to do with myself. Yeah.
But dude, I love Red Dead, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an incredible game.
Lasso,
we need to get back into that.
I haven't downloaded
it. I got it. I was telling Adam last night when we were playing. That is the only disc because I have it on disc. That's in my PlayStation 24/7. So whenever I want to play it, it's already in there.
I gotta get it re-downloaded. I gotta get downloaded on my PS4.
Mine's downloaded right now.
Some of the most fun we've had online is fucking lassoing each other, like dragging each other around,
Dude, with your brother.
murdering people. Yeah.
You're not gonna do that. Boom! You search me.
Dude, you weren't playing with us, but it was me, Adam, and my brother Tyler. He's out in Hawaii right now, also a Marine. We were all playing, and I was like, "All right, guys, I gotta go." They both think that I left the game, but I was like, I'm gonna stay on and fuck with them. So I left the chat. They think I'm gone, and I'm just fucking sniping them. And they're like, "What the fuck?" I hear them
That's hilarious.
No, I didn't leave the chat. I muted it because obviously I had to hear you guys. And they're like, "What the fuck is happening?" I'm just
What the fucking happened?
dude, it was so fucking funny. Oh man,
The game is honestly I have a tough time playing games like that because I'm a very I need a direction to go.
Yeah.
It's such an open world
It
like
is.
that.
dude, it's insane.
Sometimes it's fun. Like, you know how Rocket League, you kind of turn your brain off?
Yeah.
Like you said that the other night. I kind of felt that way too. We have really cool conversations, but I'm not thinking about anything.
Yeah,
We're not
And then, I think that game is it's for those interactive times, because I would, by myself, I've done the campaign, I enjoy the game, got it, but I wouldn't jump on it just to I'm gonna relive the glory days and start over. No,
Yeah.
I'm done with the game, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
You get the best of both worlds, like the interactive experience, right? But also, you can turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Just riding your fucking horse across the map and just seeing.
And you're like, damn, the
just
mountains,
the visuals are
the sunset.
insane.
Wow, there's an actual sunset. Yeah.
Incredible game.
Yeah.
I think we should play it a little later.
Actually, we should.
Um,
That'd be something we can all hop on and do. Because when it was running, I think they got most of their stuff fixed by now.
They did. When they first went online, it was a little rough.
yeah.
But
But
we were all
they
writing-
worked out some kinks, and it's pretty good now. Obviously, the open world thing gets a little crazy because it's Wild West, but and there's other players, but it's still really fun.
though, man.
It's so fun.
We were all riding our horses in a little posse, and then it was at night. The moon's out. You see the moonlight. It was this is a beautiful game to run
fucking
online.
there almost.
Well, and then that's what Last of Us, Uncharted, those games that play like a friggin' movie. I love those games.
Last of Us,
yeah.
Part 1, my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, still mine.
Yeah.
2 was good.
2 was good,
But-
part 1, greatest game of all
Yeah, I
time.
still
in
love that.
Story
my
is just-
opinion.
I've gone back and redone that game from start to finish so many times.
2 days, the show comes out. Fucking HBO.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Let us down.
I'm a
I'm
little
sorry
worried.
about that.
YouTube is flooding my feed with all Last of Us stuff.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm intrigued. When I first saw Pedro Pascal as Joel, I was skeptical, and then I saw him in the role, and I'm like, holy fuck!
Yeah.
He's Joel, dude. It looks good.
He's
Ellie-
really good.
Yeah, I don't know who the actress is that's playing Ellie, but hopefully she's.
She was in Game of Thrones as one of the noble
I've never seen her
women,
before.
Yormen.
Yeah.
She played the role well. I seen a little sneak peek of her being a sarcastic asshole to someone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, honestly, she's got to play the part well.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like Ellie, so it's like, hey, if you can't look close to the character,
Play the part.
you got to play the part well.
Yeah.
So I read something that the voice actor for Ellie plays Ellie's mom in the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ashley Johnson.
Yeah, before.
Yeah, she's like,
You never saw her in the game.
No.
Yeah, but there was the voice when they created it.
They gotta add it. So, but the voice actor for Ellie in the actual Last of Us is Ellie's mom in the show.
oh,
That's
nice.
crazy.
And then Troy Baker, I think you were telling me Troy Baker's in it somewhere. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's in there too.
But
He's
he
the
is.
voice of Joel.
So at least they're
I'm really excited,
At
dude.
least they're paying homage to the original.
And they look like they're putting a really good effort into it, so I really hope I'm not disappointed, because that's one of my favorite games.
I mean, the clicker looked crazy in the
Yeah.
It did.
trailer. I was like, fucking.
Dude, that shit still, to this day, I don't care. Graphics haven't improved that much, whatever. That shit still freaks me the fuck out, dude.
It's realistic.
Because I've been playing that shit at 2 a.m. and I was legit this is fucking weird. You transform. If they made they probably have a VR version, but I'm just saying that would be wild.
So the clickers are crazy. I always make the clicker noise and it fucking drives Wyatt crazy. He's like, Dad, please stop!
And it's like,
Yeah.
I need to take a shower.
But the scariest part.
Okay, so what happened in your life early on?
The scariest part in the game to me. Somebody here?
No, that was me just hitting the ball by accident, sorry.
In the second one. You beat the second one?
Yeah. Finally.
I'm already spoiled.
I was slow rolling it, so.
Yeah.
And I've seen some spoilers too, and that's what took me so long.
Yeah.
Basement of the hospital.
Yeah.
I forgot what the fucking monster's called, but
Yeah.
it's like 6 of the people morphed it. Dude, the Rat King. That's what they. Oh my god, that shit scared the fuck out of me. And I was like trying to kill that bastard. I'll show you a video later, but it's like it's like 6 of these things all morphed into one, and it's like walking on hands and shit, and you're like, what the fuck?
You don't even know how to process it.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't look away. What is that? Whoa.
That's what I'm hoping the show does well, because the game it's a very linear play, but they had a great survival aspect to it.
Yep, I like the balance it brought to the game, because you had to think about what you were doing.
Yeah.
And the clicker, and it actually made like the AI you're facing almost like fighting a player. Like the health bars were about the same. Like they had the similar moves as you. The clickers, if you don't have that shiv or a weapon,
the playing field is leveled in that game. Like when you're fighting humans, like you're like in a fight. Like you could easily die just as you're.
Just as simple as we forgot to get gas. We ran out of gas. Yeah. We got to walk back over this mountain. Shit hit the fan. Like it can get out of control, man. The survival part of it. I'm
hoping the show brings that part. And the one thing that's great in the game is when the clicker gets you and they bite, and then you hear the music, then it cuts.
Yeah.
So you just get that quick it's done.
Yep.
So I'm hoping the show gets that thrilling survival aspect right.
Yeah. It's a fucking incredible game, dude. Like. Yeah. I remember the opening scenes in the first one, dude, how fucking heavy that was when you see your daughter die, and like as a dad, you're like, oh fuck, dude.
Yeah. Shit. Maybe that's why I'm so attached to the game.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if you guys know this, but they re-released Part 1 on PS5.
Did they?
So they remastered it.
It's
arguable. Like it came out 10 years ago. People were like, it really doesn't need a remaster.
Yeah, I got the remaster.
But no, I'm sorry. So they came out with a remaster for PS4, and then they came out with a PS5 specific one. They basically rebuilt it for PS5. And being a huge, Last of Us fanboy, of course I bought it, and I've already beat it. And they added stuff, which they added into 2, where you can get unlimited ammo, all this shit. So now I'm just running around in New Game Plus, just
because you already know the story.
Yeah, fucking everything.
Yeah, they're like, hey, some people are drawn away by the survival aspect. What if we gave them an option to go fucking hands on?
Doing a speed run, just fucking murdering everybody.
How much does this guy have? Unlimited.
Oh man,
like Days Gone, that was another one.
Oh, Days Gone. Dude, and that game caught so much shit when it first came out.
They're all very, similar in that storytelling movie type way, and how you have to play and survive, and is it Naughty Dog? I don't know. All the different people who are involved, they're just really good.
They're all PlayStation studios. So yeah, Naughty Dog did Last of Us, Uncharted, all that, and then Ben's studio did Days Gone. I don't understand the slack that Days Gone got, right? Like, the story is a little fucking cheesy. Like, I don't know if you beat it, but I
did.
When you find your wife, who you're spending the whole game to find, and then you can't pretend like you know each other. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is so stupid, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta.
But
play
the game itself is fun.
But the gameplay, fucking fantastic.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Fighting hordes,
those are the
thousands.
games. Those are the games that you're like, please, dear God, figure out how to add multiplayer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would play the fuck out of that.
Well, that was the whole draw when the 360 and PS3 came out. Was like, we can have so many more NPCs. And then that kind of died away. Yeah. Like after games like Gears of War and what were those zombie Dead Rising?
Dead Rising. Yeah. Oh, Dead Rising was so fun, dude.
Yeah, and then after that spell, that kind of games went back to God of War. You never fought more than 5 or 6 enemies at once, and some others. So Days Gone kind of hey, let's bring zombie hordes as a thing.
Well, that was the big selling point for Days Gone. It's how many fucking zombies are on the screen at one time, and when you go to the old sawmill, there's 5,000 chasing you, and you're just like, Jesus, dude.
Keep driving.
And then you can interact with the environment too. You shoot the logs will fall on them and kill. It's just, the game is great, and people shit all over it for some reason, and I'm just.
I enjoyed it. I really did.
I think
because you turned me on to it, because it was one of those games that I heard the stuff, but I've seen some videos and I was like, yo, that's looking kind of good. That's looking pretty good. I just kind of ignored the hype, and then by the time it all died down, I just forgot about it. And then you were like, Days Gone, and I was like, bro, this game is amazing.
I had it shipped to me when I was on ship on the Mew.
Hell yeah,
and
I would have
played it.
I would have.
Played it.
100%.
Yeah.
Last of Us. That I didn't have that then, but Days Gone. Not Days Gone. Whatever. Oh, Grand Theft Auto 5. That was another
Oh,
one.
I mean, yeah.
Because you don't need a connection to
Yeah.
rob a bank. You know what I'm saying?
This year's gonna be good for gaming, dude. I'm super excited for this year. I mean, you got Dead Island 2 finally coming out. So that's one of those like Cyberpunk. You've seen shit on this game for like the last 8 years, and then now it's finally coming to fruition. I'm excited for the Harry Potter game. I'm not a big Harry Potter nerd, but the Harry Potter game looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a prequel to the movies. So it has nothing
I'm
to do
all
with like,
about
Harry Potter.
Oh.
If a game is awesome, a game is awesome. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. Period.
There's a bunch of good games coming out this year that I can't wait. One that I already told you about the day before. It's
Yeah,
only on
that sounds
PC
awesome.
though until it finally gets on PS5. So.
Well,
Maybe I convinced the wife to give me a PS5 or a PC before.
I mean, I saw Best Buy with their 24 months.
Yeah.
0%.
All the firm payments have
Well,
been
you found some at
clutch.
the PX for like really good ones.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
fucking cheap.
You know the old Star card, right? Yeah. They're like, hey, here's your first credit card, establish credit, and they're like, let's give you an unresponsible amount of credit on this card.
It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna put it on the Star card.
Like, I'm a corporal now.
It's like fake
We got
money.
money?
I'm like, Star card's not fake money, bro. Like, you just gotta pay that.
Who was that?
It's one of my buddies.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I say that
He's
shit
like, yeah,
all
bro,
the
it's
time.
like
This
fake
is
money. I'm
fake
like,
money, man.
it was definitely real, bro. Like,
Fake money.
Oh, man.
Yes, they had you counterfeit money, yes.
dude, so I called my dad the other day, and he's getting back in the gym.
Hey.
And he was like, yo, I had one of those Ghost Energy drinks. Fucking, what was it, Jewish fish? I'm like, Swedish fish?
Holy shit.
Fucking Swedish fish?
like kosher energy drink.
What the fuck are your Jewish fish, you dumbass?
Jewish.
Wow.
Yeah, Jewish fish. I'm like, no, dude, it's
Like, spit out your drink? Fuck,
Swedish
Dad, what
fish.
the hell?
Yeah. Fucking kosher ghost, I guess.
For a rainbow trout, a Jewish fish. Come on now.
Holy shit, man, we're going for it.
Yeah, we should probably wrap this up, huh? I'm supposed to go back to my house and come back over and drink and eat.
You gotta go get your squad.
Yeah, a few of them, and then drop another squad member at ba-da-ba.
But yeah. Well, Adam,
That.
I'm not gonna say for thanks for being on because you're on every day.
Yeah, you are.
Just
But
grinding,
it's good to
It's good to
chill
get
and
you
do one of
back
these,
here
and
in person.
this
No, it's
is
great being
fun
here.
and something we would do anyway. So yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm really glad you came to town and we were able to do this.
All right, guys. Well, until next time.
Stay irreverent, my friends. Take care. Appreciate it.